throughout all of your statements, you have said things like, the university is no place for hate. There's a zero tolerance. It's unacceptable. It has absolutely become a place for hate. And you can see that in the testimony from students, from faculty, and from anybody who has dealt with the administration. It has absolutely become a tolerant place for that hate, and has absolutely become acceptable on campuses and in the front courtyards. Now, I'll start with President Gertler. It's nice to see you in this environment. Have you gone to the encampment?
I have. And it's right outside my window, so I see it frequently.
Yes, and so have you verified that all of the people there protesting, and I have a reason for this question, that all of the people there are protesting are part of the university community, are either students, are faculty, are part of the administration?
We know that many of our students are there. We know that they are visited by faculty, but we also believe that there are people from outside the university community who are present in the encampment at various different times.
So the reason I bring this up is because U of T is about over 60,000 students. There's, let's say, 300 people at those encampments. Do you feel that the university is now negotiating with less than 0.5% of potential students, or not even students, who are frankly holding the university hostage on its decisions on how it goes about its businesses? What do you say to those watching, in their faculty, alumni, parents who are deciding where their kids might want to go to school? What do you say to those people who see 300 people holding the university to account for a student body of 60,000?
Actually, our student body is closer to 97,000.
Oh.
So yes, it's grown a little bit since your time on our campus. I should say through the chair that we have been meeting with student representatives in our discussions about how to end the encampment peacefully. And they claim to represent all of the interests within the encampment. At this point, we must take that statement at face value. I can assure you, though, and I have gone public as recently as late last week with a set of proposals that the university has been putting across the table to the students, where we have not compromised on the issues that are clearly of importance to us. We have a very clearly articulated policy for considering divestment proposals, which we have used in the past, and we are saying to the protest group, the policy is there. It lays out the steps, and you're free to use it. And we hope that they will, because that is the only way that we can actually address this.
I think the point is that you are actually even engaging in a negotiation with the 300 people who have, illegally set up camp on the front lawn. But I'll go to, do you believe that the university is adequately enforcing its code of conduct? Because I'll show you what's at the front of the encampment. That's a symbol that glorifies terrorism by Hamas, and I think you've probably seen this in the past. You've probably seen it in various places around campus. But that sits at the front of the encampment. Now, don't you think that the university's code of conduct would suggest that something like that is against the code of conduct?
Well, Madam Chair, in responding to the member's question, first of all, we have asked the student organizers of the encampment to remove signage and language which is offensive, and they have complied on occasion, not in every instance. In other instances, we have reported hateful acts and hateful speech to Toronto Police Services, and you heard from the Deputy Chief in the previous hour. Something like 38 incidents have been reported as of the end of last week, a half a dozen of which we believe may qualify as hate speech or hateful acts. And we are working closely with TPS to help them indeed investigate these incidents. And as you heard from the police chief or deputy chief, they are indeed taking these allegations very seriously.
President Gertler, has there been any students that were suspended or expelled for any of these actions?
We have indeed had violations of our code of conduct. which have resulted in suspension and on occasion expulsion. And indeed, those have been related to, some of these have been related to recent actions and the protests around the conflict in the Middle East. So the answer is yes.
So is it related to the encampment specifically? When were these people suspended or expelled?
So the encampment has been in place for 3.5 weeks. And so we have not yet had
has
any...
been expelled or suspended because of the encampment?
Those processes are underway. So
but nobody has been suspended or expelled despite having graphics like this. They've just been asked to take them down.
Actions are underway, but it does take some time to follow due process so that whatever conclusions are reached and whatever sanctions are recommended have indeed proper purchase. So that is our goal.